This is Patrick Roth, Senior Support Technician for U1 Business Solutions. Today we're going to look at SmartList Builder, GP Task SmartList, and creating a GoTo to the GP Task window. So the question the other day was, I used SmartList Builder to create a smart list to pull GP tasks from the 1403 table, which is the user task table in GP. And after displaying what they needed, what they really wanted to do once they had that is they'd like to drill into the GP task window. Of course, the question always is, hey, can you do that? You know, is this possible? But clearly it is possible, because if I look at my home page, I have multiple tasks assigned to me. And if I click task number 2, for example, that is the task that comes up, and that worked fine. And so, so there's no problem there. So this isn't one of those, maybe it could be possible, maybe it's not. Now, the second problem from a SmartList Builder perspective is you don't always know how the process works on the back end. In this case, we don't know exactly how GP opened up that task link and then selected this proper one. If we look at the table itself and run it in SmartList, I just put a few fields out there, but you know, here's the tasks and the names. If we go back to SQL and we run it and we look at it in SQL, there's some information about when it is and due and whatnot. But then the question is, you know, what's the primary key? All tables have a DEX row ID, of course, and this where you use the name, but GP itself very rarely uses a DEX row ID, if anything. So if we look at it, CM recnum seems to be the field that's using the primary key. And if we wanted to test that, SP help SY003, we can verify that is the key by scrolling down. And if it finishes here, it'll show us. Come on. Yep, CM rectum. So that is the field that we're looking for. So we have that field. We need to open up the window and somehow tell GP that this is the one that we want to select. So the fact that we have a way to do it on the GP side is good. We need to be able to see how that works. If I'm the DEX developer or casual developer, perhaps, you can turn on the GP script log by adding the script debugger equal true to your DEX ini, and they're relaunching GP, and it'll add you this debug menu. So if we use debug log scripts, now we turn that on, and now if I just click, say, this one, it just logged that, and now I can turn the log off. And if we read the DEX SQL log, or the script log, excuse me, here's me clicking the link. It opened up the open of form SY task, and it's passing in this 43, which we saw from before was the CM recnum as one of the values. And so this is the one I had clicked. And if you go back, so that's good, but not good, because we can't just call any procedures that we want. Checking security, making sure we can do it. This is actually SmartList Builder. It's opening up the window. It's creating the tasks. Aha. This is encouraging. So a lot of windows, when they use lookups to get into them, whether it's a lookup on the window itself or it's a click on a link to open up the window, eventually the window will open, and there's very often a field called LTemp control number. And so this is a convenient example where it's exactly that. It doesn't have to be called that. It actually could be anything. But in GP, you'll see that that's used a lot. So in this particular case, we don't know the value that it's using here. We don't know what it's doing, but almost certainly, since the key on the table is CM recnum, and we have that value, and it's a one key table, This is almost certainly the field. Now, the only thing we don't know is if this field is locked, well, then we're going to be in trouble. So we can see it's SY task window. It's form SY task, and this is the window, and this is the form, and then this is the field, LTemp control number change. So if we go back to SmartList Builder, let's make a GoTo. We're going to add a GoTo. There's no built-in GoTo, as we say. The only thing you could do to go to the window is an open form GoTo. So we're going to call it task entry. Products Microsoft Dynamics GP. I would assume the series is system, and it was just called task. If we look at it, it defaults to set a field and run the field script. You almost always want to do that. And if we look, it was called temp control number. Here we are. So here's temp control number, and we have a CM rec num, and we are going to set the CM rec num to that. So I'm going to close this down, default to the task entry window that I just built, and save. Open up SmartList. We have some changes. Yes, we do. And again, we have the same values, but let's double click on this one. And it worked. So by finding out what the primary key on the table was, and then by doing a script log, we were able to deduce that there was a field that was controlling pulling this up. And fortunately, the field was editable. If the field was not editable, SmartList Builder would have locked the field, and we'd have got an error about this field has been disabled and cannot be used or cannot be changed, something like that. But unfortunately, we were able to set it, and it ran and was able to pull up our existing task successfully.